Hello world, welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we will be touching on the topic of why we need Jesus to stand before God, and I will be introducing to you the concept of intersect in programming. Before we dive right in, if you're new to my channel, let me first introduce to you my working environment. This is the Visual Studio 2022 Integrated Development Environment, and I'll be using C# for programming. If you're interested in my content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to be informed of new episodes. To start, I have a Bible verse that I would like to share with you today. It will serve as the anchor for today's gospel sharing. Romans chapter 3 verses 25 to 26 reads, God presented Christ as a sacrifice of atonement through the shedding of his blood, to be received by faith. He did this to demonstrate his righteousness, because in his forbearance he had left the sins omitted beforehand unpunished. He did it to demonstrate his righteousness at the present time, so as to be just and the one who justifies those who have faith in Jesus. My takeaway from meditating on this verse is this. God is the God of love whose mercy abounds for sinners like you and me. God is also the God of justice whose wrath burns against sinners like you and me in our sins. In this dissonance, how can we make a reconciliation of God's character? Jesus is the intersect of God's love and his justice. His death on the cross is the cost paid for our punishment due to us in our sins. In love, he took our place, and in justice, the punishment was met out. So with this Bible verse, I would like to introduce to you the concept of intersect in programming for today's episode. From today's programming demonstration, I hope to portray to you the full character of God and how we are recipients of his love and justice. In this programming space, I have two lists of strings. One called love, having the attributes of a loving nature, and the other called justice, having the attributes of having justice. Now, I will create a new list to contain the common attributes of the two lists by calling the intersect method, and I will print the result to the console screen for you to see. As you can see from what is printed to the console screen, only the common element of both lists is captured into the new list after taking the intersect. To summarize what we have covered today, we saw how we can use the intersect method to take common elements between two collections. Drawing parallel to this, Jesus is the common denominator to God being loving and God holding justice. Imagine a parent standing before two of his children, one of whom is a perpetrator that needs to be disciplined, and the other a victim of the wrongdoing leading to the truth. With a rod in his hand, he can't bring himself to strike his child because of the pain he knows will be inflicted. Yet he knows he cannot hold the child accountable of his wicked act against his sibling if he withholds the punishment. So, in full display in front of his two children, to the shock of them, he strikes the rod upon himself with such strength that he tore open his skin, bleeding with the strike. That is God giving up his beloved Son at a cost to himself for the sake of our kind, because he so loved us. God knew we cannot withstand what comes our way if he were to mete us out his justice unto us for our wickedness. Yet he needs to hold us accountable for his name's sake. So he gave us a way out with Jesus. We stand before God in his love and justice, fully repaid by accepting Jesus as our Redeemer. With that, we have come to the end of this episode. I hope you have learned something from this video, be it programming or the Bible. If you do like my content, like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more. Hope to see you again next time. To God be the glory, I am but his vessel.